Good morning. Hi, Carolyn. Good morning. Happy sunny Saturday, even. Amazing. All right. Good morning, folks. Welcome to True North Insight. I'm one of the Dharma teachers with True North Insight, and we teach Vipassana Insight meditation retreats in Canada and offer courses and mentorships and weekly sitting groups and silent meditation retreats. So this morning, this topic this morning is, hi Kathy, good to see you. See, I do feel like I've kind of like, oh, yeah, good to see sunshine too. Even though I can't see you, I do, when I see the numbers there and folks saying good morning, hi Kathy, it does feel like, for me, feels like a connection. So thank you for being here. This topic this morning is a request, as I often put out. Hi Monty. If there's anything you want me to teach about or anything that's challenging, to let me know. So this is one of those requests and is also a fabulous, important topic that probably might have come up anyways, but I'm happy that it came as a question. And it's regarding equanimity, which for folks that haven't heard Dharma study teachings or don't practice meditation or listen to talks, the word equanimity, I'm so used to it, but it's not a word that's used much in English, unfortunately. Oh, that it would be and understood might be really great. So equanimity is as it sounds. Well, maybe not as it sounds, because it sounds like the word equal, that everything's equal, which is not equanimity, because life is so not that way. But equanimity is how to cultivate, develop, embody some stability amidst the waves of life. Yeah. In the Pali English dictionary, so the translations of the Pali language into English, Pali is the language teachings of the Buddha were first written down in. So there, equanimity, or upekkha, as it is in Pali, Upekkha. I'm just saying, you don't need to know any of this unless it's something that's of interest to you. So I just put it out there for folks that are. Equanimity there is defined as the 0 point between joy and sorrow. I find that helpful. So we think of life, we feel life, we experience life as a continuum of, the 10,000 joys and 10,000 sorrows. And sometimes we may feel like, yeah, it's not so much a continuum for me. I'm just living in the sorrow, or yeah, life's pretty much joyous. I haven't experienced a lot of sorrow. And so wherever we are on the continuum, some folks may feel this is what their continuum looks like, but there's still a 0 point in there, in that line. There's still a center point. And so equanimity is that place of really feeling centered in ourselves and being able to open to these waves, continual waves of joy and sorrow, gain and loss, getting what we want, losing what we love and wish to keep, good, it's called good repute and ill repute. So being well respected and then being taken down. So these vicissitudes, no, that's praise and censure. So there's 8 of them: gain and loss, praise and censure, good repute and ill repute, pain and happiness. So anyways, you get the picture of these kind of whatever place you want to land. There's an opposite. There's hi, Elaine. There's its extreme or its opposite end of that continuum. And equanimity is the 0 point between the extremes. But the 0 point equanimity doesn't mean, you just stay like in a little bubble. No, I don't feel, happiness. I don't feel sorrow. I don't feel pain. The more we develop our center, calm, steady center, the more we can open to the whole of life and see its nature of coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. There's another, good morning, Allison. There's another word that's equated with equanimity. It's not upekkha, but it's a fun one to say. It's tatra mahatata. And it means to stand in the middle of this, or equally, good morning, Patty, equally near to all things. So that you see that 0 point between joy and sorrow has also this aspect of being equally near to all things. So it's not like it's in some isolated bubble, or sometimes we think of wrongly, incorrectly, of equanimity as being like floating on a little cloud above it all. Like, no, I'm fine up here. How you doing? It's equally near to all things. That's quite different. Okay, so, yeah. Sharon Salzberg, beautiful little book, Loving Kindness, The Revolutionary Art of Happiness. It's a well-worn, well-loved book about the Brahma Viharas, or divine abodes, the divine resting places of the heart awareness. So this is teaching about metta, or loving kindness, meditation, joy, where we resonant joy in the good fortune of others. And anyways, I won't go into joy right now, maybe another time, another topic. Yeah, we could use some of that. And compassion, we hear a lot about compassion. And then equanimity. So that's what this book is about. Equanimity shows up in lots of different places on the path, but we're going to practice this equanimity today after the talk. And I won't talk as long as I did last time. Help me not talk as long as last time. So Sharon Salzberg talks about equanimity here. And she says, the question is, well, she starts by saying, in 6 months, even in 1 day or 1 hour, we can experience so many extremes of pleasure and pain. Maybe you can recall this for yourself. I know yesterday I experienced a great wave of extreme pain that also passed to some degree. But sometimes we can just be so devastated, in so much pain, and then we receive a call from a friend, or someone comes to the door with some good news, or a delivery, or a kindness, or and the same can go the other way. We're like having a beautiful day, and then boom, some someone says something hurtful, painful, or we lose, someone dies, so it can change so quickly, so dramatically. And in one day, in 1 hour, we're surfing these waves, sometimes extreme highs and lows, and sometimes more subtle. So Sharon goes on to say, the question is, how can a human heart, my heart or your heart, absorb the continual, unremitting contrasts of this life without feeling shattered and thinking we cannot bear it? Battered by changes, the heart-mind can become brittle, rigid. It can wither and shrink. The Buddha said that our hearts can wilt as a flower does when it has been out in the sun too long. And I know that we have all experienced this feeling at times, and sometimes more than we feel we can bear. So this is what this practice, equanimity, cultivates, develops our resilience, our capacity to meet with the waves, with the right efforts, the 4 right efforts we've talked about earlier in some of the talks that are on the YouTube channel here. We have to be able to discern what's needed right now, but it's our capacity to meet all of these things that seem unbearable. Equanimity is learning deeply what it means to let go. And lastly here, she's saying the characteristic is to arrest the mind before it falls into extremes. So we cultivate a stillness of mind, a calm, radiant, aware presence that has the capacity to be equally near to all things. And yeah, okay. I am quoting a lot of different teachers today because they're so wise and have said it so well. So pardon that. Mahathira Piyadasi is a Sri Lankan monk and Dharma teacher, and said this about equanimity that I really find helpful. So some of you may have heard me say this before, but they say, amidst the welter of experience, and then they list these vicissitudes I was talking about, of gain and loss, good repute and ill repute, praise and censure, pain and happiness. One never wavers, is firm as a solid rock. But I love this because it says amidst it. It's not above it, away from it, removed from life. It's right in the welter. So I had to look up what the word welter really meant. I had a sense of it, but welter means a confused mass, a jumble, confusion, turmoil. To welter is to roll, heave, or toss about in the waves, to become deeply sunk, soaked, or involved, to be in turmoil. You see, and that's what Sharon was saying about we are trying to avoid the extremes. I have a very itchy eye. I'm trying to not scratch right now. So amidst the welter, so that just describes life so well. Who knew life was a welter? All right, this has to go. All right, sorry. So these waves and being tossed around, heaved around to become deeply sunk, soaked or involved in turmoil, confusion, jumble, right? Can you relate to that at times? And so how to be as firm as a solid rock amidst all of that. So life is beyond our control. All the people and how everyone else is behaving is beyond our control. And so this creates, and our body is beyond our control, our aging, our sickness, our dying, um, all of these comings and goings. And amidst that, how do we find this steady, steady place where we can feel, the waves come crashing over sometimes, and we stay in the body, we stay present, and really feel that. It's like this right now, it's like this right now. When we meet it in this way with right effort, sometimes other efforts are needed, we see that it passes. It comes and goes. And then we open our eyes and we see a bird, or we see the sun, or we taste a raspberry. It changes, it comes and goes, it comes and goes. Yeah, so the question that the student said, or the friend student had asked about this practice of equanimity related to, I didn't write down the exact words here, but what the difference is between equanimity and being removed, being kind of numb, being it's not the word that was used, but it's like a dissociation of just like, it's okay, everything will come and go, don't worry about it, this is not, there's no compassion there, first of all, and there's no embodiment, there's no connection. So to be clear, that equanimity is not withdrawal or repression. It's not, it's all cool, man. Everything comes and goes, don't worry about it. And it's not repression, like everything's white light and butterflies, and just keep chanting your mantra and don't let anything painful touch you. That's repression. It's not a dry neutrality, like, oh, I hear you, that, where you don't feel any connection, any compassion, in that kind of response to yourself or to others. Not aloof, not passive, not dull, not disengaged or separated. It's not a resignation as well, like, well, this is how it is, just shrugging your shoulders and resigning yourself to being crashed about in the turmoil of the waves. Also, as I mentioned, it's sometimes, described incorrectly, like riding around on a little cloud above it all. But in fact, when equanimity is cultivated, our capacity to connect with our world and the suffering of others is deepened, not removed. And it's our when we have deep equanimity, we can really be equally near to all things. We can encompass and not encompass, but embrace, open to more of how things are, how life is. So when we have cultivated this quality of equanimity of the heart, there's actually an energy. It's not this dull, removed, it's an energized, but also calm and aware. They seem like opposites. They don't have to be, right? In the I won't go into it, 7 factors of awakening, there's energy and calm. And it ends in equanimity as well. So energized, calm, aware, these are qualities of being equanimous. And from that place, we're able to respond and act with wisdom, not reactivity, like, really being tossed under and pulled up and tossed under and pulled up with the waves. That would be a reactivity. Also, when there's equanimity, there's less or potentially no personal agenda. We're not reacting from a place of how we want it to go. Refusing to pay attention to how things are is suffering. And equanimity is paying attention to how things are, even when it's mucky, not just when it's pleasant. So how do we do this? Yes, how? Several ways. One of the first ways to cultivate this, to grow this quality, if we know this is something we want to bring more into our lives, is the precepts, the ethical foundation. When we cultivate that skillfulness of our wise intention, what are your core values of non-harm, non-greed, not taking what isn't freely given, not abusing sensuality, sexuality, not taking intoxicants to the point of heedlessness, not being aware. I feel like I've missed one. Non-harm, not stealing. Oh, it's wise speech, which we talked about on Wednesday. I don't know why I keep going like that. Okay, so the precepts. So whatever your core values, your ethics, your morality, this is the place that we begin to cultivate equanimity. Because if we don't have those values, we're going to be disturbed all the time. We're going to be disturbed and regretful and unskillful. Another support to the arising of equanimity is faith. Faith in this practice, I don't know if I've done a video on this yet. Might have, but if I haven't, I will. Faith here is not blind faith. I think I did. It's trust in what you know to be true. Trust in your capacity. You have faith in yourself that you can ride the waves. You have faith, trust, reliance in community. We call it Sangha. Who's got your back? Who can you turn to support you when you need help? Thanks, dear. Thanks. I did teach about it. And so faith is a support for equanimity, as well as the precepts, ethics, values. Another support here is mindfulness practice, which cultivates wisdom, so that we can be aware and knowing when equanimity is not present and when it is. We can know, like, whoa, crashed under, tossed up. We can really feel like, a big wave of loss or whatever, or joy is here, and I'm not going to let it have its way with me. I'm going to feel it and know that it's arising and passing. And it is. Even though you feel it is not, it is. Okay, and the big how here, in my opinion, is of how to practice equanimity, is embodiment. So remember that quote at the beginning about being in the welter, and they go on to say, one is firm as a solid rock amidst all of this. To me, that solid rock is the body, which of course is not permanent, is also a source of pain. But being embodied in the present moment is how we can ride the wave. It's like your surfboard. It's your, maybe surfboard is a better image of riding the waves. And so so when we feel these states of being tossed about, pushed and pulled, triggered, reactive, off balance, we stop and get in our mountain. Mountain is another image that's often used for equanimity. And if should I go there? Yeah, I have time. Okay, so if you think of a mountain, you know, sometimes with all these different comings and goings, we're in different places on that mountain. We're isolated up on the icy cold peak, or we're prowling around like the mountain lion, you know, all angry or stalking something we're stewing about, or maybe we're like like we're on guard or wary, prowling around in our life. Or sometimes we might feel so diminished and so contracted that we're like a little small pebble on that mountain. When we feel compassion fatigue or burnout, we might be like up on that icy top of the mountain, just a bit removed from it all, a bit cold, withdrawn. Or we might be like the stormy clouds that are swirling around the mountain, sometimes raining and hail, and you know, but if we're actually embodying the whole mountain, the whole experience, we can open to all of these different states. And we can see how each little wave in our story comes and goes. I don't mean little, because they're not always little. Sometimes they're really big. Okay. Okay. So Sayadaw U Pandita, another great Dharma teacher, said that one moment of equanimity causes a succeeding moment of equanimity to arise. So once equanimity is activated to whatever degree, it will be the cause for equanimity to continue and to deepen. That's another place of faith, of trust, to rely that, okay, yeah, I didn't react to that. I did see that pass or ease, you know, it might have taken a day or a week, but it did. Or maybe just even a few moments, something comes and goes. And so with that, you recognize, that's equanimity. Pat yourself on the back. Absolutely. And know by recognizing what that was, that will condition and be the cause for further moments of equanimity to arise and to deepen. And we'll be practicing with it today as well. So I have a lovely poem as we turn towards practice. Okay, one more wonderful thing from a wonderful teacher. This is a Zen Dharma teacher, Norman Fisher, one of my favorite Dharma quotes. The great and beautiful secret of meditation practice is this: you can experience dukkha with equanimity. I feel like I should type that in here. It's a great one. the great, and do you mind me doing this? You can't tell me if you do, so I'm doing it. The great and beautiful secret of meditation practice. It's an important one, so I want you to have it. Is this: you can, except for I wish I was a better typer, you can experience dukkha. I'll say a bit what that is, with equanimity. There you go. Okay, Norman Fisher. There we go. Okay, there you go. Any typos in there? No, I nailed it. Yes. Okay, so dukkha is all of the stuff, all of the stress, all of the everything that isn't how we want it to be. Not keeping what we want to keep, not being able to get rid of what we don't like. Aging, sickness, death are dukkha. Identifying with my own ego as being something solid and permanent and everlasting is dukkha. Yeah, so we can experience dukkha, all of this coming and goingness, with equanimity. Equanimity doesn't mean nothing goes wrong again. It doesn't mean that removal, So I feel like that's important to get in there. Right. I'm just gonna try to do this. Yes, I did it. I'm so pleased with myself today. Technology. Here's a beautiful poem. So let's get ready to practice. Itchy. Um, this practice today is one of the Brahma-Vihara, divine abode practices, which means the abode, the home, the resting place of our heart-mind awareness. And we cultivate, grow this capacity of equanimity here in the heart. Okay, so to do these practices, you need to really be comfortable in your posture, in your body. So allow yourself to adjust. You can move back. It'll just be hearing now. So you could put your device down or move away from your mouse and keypad and allow yourself to listen. It's fine to lay down because and try to stay awake. You could stand, you could walk, get a blanket. So take a moment here to just get what you need to be comfortable. Make sure you're warm. Okay. So this poem that I'll just read as we're settling into our posture is called Blessing in the Chaos. Perfect title. Blessing in the Chaos by Jan Richardson. Jan. I'll put the link to it in the link below as well, but I'll also put it here. Blessing in the Chaos. Okay. This is really, really perfect poem. So rest your eyes and let this resonate for you, however it does. To all that is chaotic in you, let there come silence. Let there be a calming of the clamoring, a stilling of the voices that have laid their claim on you, that have made their home in you, that go with you even to the holy places, but will not let you rest, will not let you hear your life with wholeness or feel the grace that fashioned you. Let what distracts you cease. Let what divides you cease. Let there come an end to what diminishes and demeans, and let depart all that keeps you in its cage. Let there be an opening into the quiet that lies beneath the chaos, where you find the peace you did not think possible, and see what shimmers within the storm. Let there be a calming here. Sighing breath if you need. And see if you can source within your being that still place, this source of calm, of presence, of quietude. It may just feel like a tiny seed within. If you feel like you can't even source that right now, that doesn't feel available to you, please just go on faith and trust that it is there, and let that grow. You might feel it like a little seed in the center of your heart, center of your chest. That might, for some, feel like a place in the belly or somewhere else in the body, anywhere else. The quiet that lies beneath the chaos, it is there. It's that little shimmer within the storm. It's that little part of you that keeps going, getting back on the surfboard and riding again. And then allow your body to relax around that place, around that sense of deep inner quietude, softening any tension, allowing chaos to kind of flow off of the shoulders and away. Relaxing the belly and the hands. See if the thought of an expression of ease could touch your face. And in this practice that we're doing today, we repeat phrases to help keep us returning to the present moment. And we open to different kind of categories of people, beings. So as we rest here, feeling into our own inner stillness and touching into our intention to grow this sense of equanimity. We bring to our awareness someone that's easy for us to connect to with good wishes. Someone that there isn't a lot of confusion or contraction around. It's just and this could be an animal being, could be someone that's passed, that's died, it could be someone far away, but there's just a really easy, not debated sense of heart connection with this being. And just take a few moments here to stay feeling your body. And just let that being come into your awareness, into your heart-mind awareness. And then we wish for them, may you have ease with life's arisings and passings. May you open to how things are. May you know serenity in the midst of turbulence. May you have ease with arisings and passings. May you open to how things are. May you know serenity in the midst of turbulence. Just rest in your own heart awareness with this dear one or a friendly being in your life, and you can repeat these similar words in your own words of wishes for equanimity for this being. And now we'll gently bring into our awareness what's called a neutral person. So this may be someone you see in your community, a shopkeeper, one of our dear cashiers in a grocery store or a store that's had to keep serving folks through this time. Could be a neighbor, but somebody that's neutral, that you see them, but there isn't a strong aversion or preference. They're just kind of a casual acquaintance, and you don't have a strong feeling for or against them. This is could be someone you don't even know their name, but you kind of see them in your life. Don't worry about trying to pick the right person. Just see who comes to your awareness and let them stand in a way for all of those that are neutral in our lives. And so even for someone that is in this category of being, we wish for them. We truly wish for them. May you have ease with life's arisings and passings. May you open to how things are. May you know serenity in the midst of turbulence. And just rest for a few more moments here with your own, repeating your own words and growing this intention and wish for equanimity to this neutral being. May you be steady and at ease. Might be another one. Okay, and now we'll transition to what's called a difficult person. And the mind immediately wants to go to the most difficult person in your life. This is usually not advised, but just to choose someone that there's some unresolved, something that feels confusing. There's a little bit of discontent in the relationship, but not anything that's really triggering. And for this being, we have the same wishes. We wish for them as well. We know that they also experience these worldly waves and winds coming and going. And we wish for them, may you have ease with all of these arisings and passings. May you open to how things are. May you know serenity in the midst of turbulence. May you be steady and at ease. Then take a moment here to gather your awareness into your body. It may have moved up into the mind or into thoughts and stories about these different beings. So just settle back into that still, quiet place within you. That shimmer amidst the storm, the deep inner stillness, even if it feels like a tiny seed. Settle, feel the body, get back into the mountain of your body. And now we really open to ourselves, our own deep being. This dear self, your most intimate life partner, yourself. And feel these waves that come and go, these deep highs and lows that sometimes crash over us and we feel like we won't surface again. Just having a sense of all these waves that you have surfed in your life, sometimes tumbled off the board and getting back on. And just really bring you a sense of compassion and kindness to your resilience, your ethics, your faith, your mindful wisdom. And then grow this capacity. Know that any tiny moment of equanimity you've experienced can be the cause for more equanimity to grow. And may I experience ease with arisings and passings. Repeat that silently for yourself. May I open to how things are. May I develop and feel serenity in the midst of turbulence. May I be at ease with arisings and passings. May I open to how things are. May I embody serenity in the midst of turbulence. May I be steady and at ease. And if it resonates for you, you might like to touch that place in your body, maybe your belly, or feel your feet on the ground, or touch the heart center. If you can connect with that sense of a place within you that embodies that stillness, that capacity to be equally near to all things, and let these wishes really land and grow there. And from this place within us now we open to all beings everywhere without exception, in all directions, across all the lines that we have drawn and others have drawn in the sand of right and wrong and you and I. Including those that are causing suffering and those that are deeply experiencing suffering. And know that this is a practice, something we grow this ability, so not adding judgment to ourselves. And as much as is available now, we really wish all beings everywhere, all the beings of the earth, not just the human beings, and the earth itself. May all beings everywhere experience ease with all of the arisings and passings. May all beings everywhere open to how things are. May all beings everywhere embody a deep inner serenity amidst turbulence. And may all beings everywhere be free from suffering, with the capacity to meet what's arising and passing without being tumbled to the bottom or thrown off the top of the waves. So we have a few minutes here for any questions or comments about this theme. I hope it answered the question for the person that suggested this theme. Please let me know if there's more about that. And just while anybody is typing a question or comment, whatever you'd like to share here, I'll also remind you about the links below. There's a little arrow that points down that you click on that says you get a drop-down menu, and there's links for True North Insight to support the work of True North Insight that has made this YouTube stuff happen. And there's also a link to support me, as this is my work, as well as individually supporting folks with their practice. So this support of dana or generosity is deeply appreciated. Whatever take into account your own capacity. We were all experiencing different degrees of challenge at this time. So thank you for that. Yeah. So someone's just commented here with the word heavy. So yeah. So if this practice is triggering good info and challenging, thank you. A little more info there. So yes, challenging. It's challenging to meet with the heaviness, with the painful aspects. We don't usually find it challenging to meet with the 10,000 joys. It's usually the ill repute, the censure, the pain, the loss that are the hard parts for us to meet with. And yet they're happening anyways, and often having their way with us, kind of, pushing us into reactivity or great despair. And so to really work with this practice of thinking about balance, how can I balance this if I'm feeling really bowled over? What are the things? Reaching out to somebody, getting out in the sun today absolutely is usually helpful for folks. Into the air, being with animal companions is often a safe and nurturing source of bringing some equanimity. It's definitely a practice, yeah. You're welcome, Carolyn. Okay, so we're almost at the end. I think related to this topic of equanimity is something else that came as a request for a topic, which is Oh, yeah. Feeling into the Norman Fisher quote is helpful. I love that one. Um, yeah, experiencing dukkha with equanimity. We don't feel that that's possible when we're experiencing dukkha. It's like equanimity doesn't seem to fit with that, but it is possible. Vedana is a topic I'll probably teach about on Wednesday night. You don't need to know what that word means, but uh, on Wednesday I'll explain more what it means. But it's related to equanimity quite a bit, quite a bit. So it'll help kind of flesh out more around this topic of equanimity on Wednesday night, 7:30. It'll be related to this. Okay. So I hope today you're able to experience some ease. Ah, Chimagwech. Hello, Allison. Thank you for being here. Yeah, opening to how things are, but using our right efforts to help us cultivate ease with arising and passing and finding serenity amidst the tumult. Yes, turbulence. There you go. Bam. See you, loves. Be good to you, please.